Welcome back, everybody, once again to Starlight. I am TJ the Obscure here with you, and I have some unfortunate news. This is going to be the final episode of the series, and I messed up the audio once again, you guys. I don't blame myself. I'm not doing anything besides not doing my little checklist that I made for myself, so I guess I should blame myself. But I have no idea what OBS is doing. It just keeps unselecting my microphone for some reason. And thankfully I noticed it before I recorded the Nova Arcana episode right after this. So that one's fine, but this one I messed up on. Right now I'm talking about the heads and how I did a little montage, which you should have seen by now if you were interested in it. And going back and finding all of the heads, and I found all of them except for the one in the light gray wool area, which we either found and I lost, or I found and misplaced. Or it's just so well hidden. I don't know. I've torn that whole area to pieces and cannot find it. So I'm not really sure where it is. And then, of course, we have Resolved Terror's head to find as well in the red and black wool area. And so that is where we are going. And so if you recall, at the end of last episode, I had noticed a little walkway that went off into the side over here. And so that was the first place that I decided to check out. Because it seemed like a pretty obvious place to put the path to the black wool. Although whenever I get over here, I discover very quickly that there actually is no path over here. It's just a couple spawners and some loot. So that ruined that plan. I thought for sure there was going to be a little entrance into the side there. But that's when I noticed this path down at the bottom. And I'm thinking, like, I was trying to figure out, like, where the heck we were last episode. And I realized that we were up at the top, so having it be down at the bottom would actually, make a decent amount of sense. And so I decided to head there next, after, of course, grabbing the nearby loot and and killing the spawners and whatnot. I try to find my way down there. And make my way into the darkness, and figure that there was probably a spawner in there, and hear the sounds of the archers, of the skellies, and when trying to find them, I noticed the chest up here, and the chest just happens to contain Resolve's head. So again, besides Cyan, we found all the other heads in the map. I'm sorry, not Cyan, but light gray. I did find Cyan, finally. I never found the teleporter in that area, but I did find the head. It was hidden in a stupid attic, which I don't know how anybody would ever find it. You just have to be very, very, very observant. So take out the archer guys, and then I proceed back down to that lower ledge that we had seen earlier. And when we get down here, we are met by some archer dudes who light me on fire. I'll be honest, I noticed this when I was editing the red wool area. I feel like I'm taking tons of damage, but then when I look at my health, I'm actually not. There goes that efficiency 7 pick that I had found. Which was odd. It was just giving it like a shortcut, one of those dig here things, and there was like an efficiency 7 gold pick. I think I found it in green. That was kind of odd. But yeah, I don't know if anybody else noticed that, and I had to double check to make sure I was still on hard. I thought maybe when I had switched to creative to do the whole thing with the sheep that it had gotten messed up, but no, I am indeed still on hard. So it's just the armor. I mean, but look, I don't even have full diamond, so I don't know. But there were times, especially during the last episode, in this area, where I'm just getting ping-ponged back and forth by archers, and there was that charged creeper blast, which did, like, no damage to us. I don't know. Maybe we were just getting really lucky. Maybe the mobs aren't quite as powerful as I thought. You can see there, we still do have 12 deaths. So, we did die a lot in the map overall. Largely because some of the rules that we had. Vaults of the Fallen Stars, it says. And it says, behind this door is a storage vault for the black wool. The door's security lock is currently engaged. To unlock it, you'll need to find the remote locking mechanism located elsewhere in the foundry. So I was trying to remember, like, did we already unlock it? I can't remember what we found or not. But then I discovered that, hey, we can just dig right through. So I don't know. I don't know if we set it off already, or if maybe when you place the red wool, it just gets unlocked automatically, or what. But we were able to just walk right through. And at this point, I decide that I want to go drop off the head so that we don't lose it, and also get some new gear and drop gear off and stuff. And we eventually return and start scoping things out. I noticed the ladders. There's a light source. Seems to be protruding from the opposite end of the room. I noticed the holes on the ground and make the assumption that that's probably void, although I do notice the light coming out, so I'm thinking it could also be lava. But that given this is black wool, it's probably going to be void. And I take the speed potion and just decide to go ahead and rush in there and see what we can find. Now I notice here it's very dark down below, and my initial assumption is, okay, it's not void, it's just black concrete, because that's what it looks like to me. So I just kind of start running willy-nilly. And digging to the side for a little cover so that I can get a better view of things. And that's when I see what appears to be the objective there in the middle, surrounded by the bedrock. And then I notice this blaze off to the left. And he keeps sinking down. And I realize, oh, okay, maybe this is void. But I want to make sure, I want to see, like, does he die or does he just despawn or what? But I see him start to take damage, and that's when I realize this is most definitely void. I was thinking it could still be like black concrete, just like a really, all, like way down there. So even if we fell, we would still die. We would just die to fall damage. But no, it is void. I don't know how they did this, because void usually has that kind of glow to it. So I don't know if it's about setting the time, or if they did something with a resource pack, or what. But it's definitely void down there. And that's when I realized I need to probably be a little more careful as we proceed. We of course have the gas spawners, and then we have these little walkways as well. I assume, based on the way it looks, this is going to be the objective straight ahead. So I just start making my way right for it. There's even what appears to be like a little walkway up top made out of bedrock there, if you can see that. So I try to bridge there, waiting for the next gas to spawn. But that's when I realize, okay, there's actually invisible blocks there. And my assumption at this point is that we're probably going to have like an invisible maze that we have to make our way through by following the walkways. So I start proceeding to try to take out spawners, even though I'm thinking I'm probably not going to be able to take it out, but I'm going to try anyways. And then to my surprise, we can just bridge right across everything. And I noticed a little opening in the side right there, and I'm basically able to just bridge straight to the wool. I think one other gas spawns, and that's about it. It was very uneventful. I was expecting a lot more resistance, considering this is the black wool. The only mob that seems to be in this room are the ghasts. So I don't know. I don't know what the heck was going on with the black wool. And I do talk about this a little bit. So I basically just make my way straight back because we have the objective at this point. We've gotten the head. We have both the red wool and the black wool. So I just make my way back. I do get a little scared here by this archer because he spawns. But otherwise, it's just a straight shot back to the monuments and stuff. And so on the way back, I kind of talk about how, overall I enjoyed the map tremendously. Keep in mind that this was a collaboration project that involved mostly brand new map makers or people who didn't have a lot of experience when they first started out. It took a long time. I have to definitely give a shout out to Omega for helping to coordinate and compile a lot of it. I know it's not an easy thing to do. And also how much I just enjoy these collaboration projects. I like the variety that it offers. Each area tends to be very unique, not just in terms of aesthetics, but loot and mobs and level design and just it's so you know, I think maps that are made by a single map maker are much more likely to get stale after a few areas, which is something that I've experienced with some of the other maps that I've played recently. And so these collaborative maps do keep things fresh with every area that you go to. But I also talk a lot about the red wool and the black wool area here, and how to me it fell victim to that classic flaw of privileging aesthetics over gameplay. And maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just the way I approached it. Maybe it was just the series of events that happened to unfold led to a fairly negative experience here with these final two areas. I think the last episode with Red Wool was a lot more exciting, especially that final run up to the wool was great. That creeper falling on me, I thought I was gonna die. But for the most part, this area was just confusing. I thought the layout was pretty bad. I often had no idea where I was supposed to go. And when we did find the wool, it was like I just kind of stumbled upon it and it was like, oh, well, there's the wool. But otherwise, it was like me just kind of wandering around. And not a lot of resistance either. So overall, to me, the last two areas were really a letdown, especially that black wool area. And I kind of feel bad about doing the voiceover, but on the other hand, because not really much happened, I don't feel that bad doing the voiceover. It's still kind of a crappy end to this series, and overall the series was kind of, I made a lot of mistakes just from the recording and editing standpoint, I think. But overall I did enjoy the map, and I like being able to offer feedback, especially to new map makers. And I think everybody who participated should be proud of themselves. It turned into a really good final product, I think, despite being still a little rough around the edges in some parts. Overall, I still think it's up there in terms of some of the more quality maps that we've seen in the genre. So overall, I would say it was a success, and I had lots of fun with it, especially bringing a lot of the unique rules and whatnot. But yeah, I guess that's going to be it from me for this series. And like I said, basically as soon as I stopped recording this, I went and I started recording Nova Arcana, so you have that to look forward to here in the coming days. But anyways, you guys, that's going to be it from me for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.